This is the site of the breach that occurred on the 22nd of December at Whitchurch. 2 days earlier, we moored our narrowboat here, just 80 yards away.
We thought we'd give you an update of our events and everything that's gone on since the breach on the 22nd of December at Whitchurch on the Shropshire Union and Llangollen Canal.
Yeah, so on the day the breach happened, it happened early hours in the morning, that very same day they put a cofferdam in, as you can see here on this side. That held the water back, and then the following day they put an additional dam in just in front of our boats on this side.
Which effectively trapped the 3 boats, the 2 that were in the bottom of the breach and the one that was teetering over the edge, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so they could start pumping water into our section to refloat us, and obviously that area where the breach wasn't getting any additional water.
I don't think we'll ever forget the events of that evening, and it's been well documented on our videos and friends' videos as well. We knew Bob, whose first boat, Sefton, was the one that went down first. We've been in talks with Bob for the past couple of days, we've been on the phone at length, and him and his wife Rosemary, they're doing well. They're still in shock, aren't they?
Yeah, bless him. And I think it did him well. It did him good to actually talk through the events as well, because he's not really had anyone to chat to who understands what he's gone through. And I think that was the same for Fleck as well, yeah. and for Paul.
Yeah. So, talking to Bob, he thinks that his dog George basically saved his life because he got up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and Bob thought, oh, why does he want to go out for a wee at this time of night? I'm not taking him out in this storm, because he thought he could hear a storm, but it was actually the water pouring under and past his boat. And George jumped off, Bob got off, he stepped down onto what he thought was about 10 inches or like 20 centimetres, 30 centimetres onto the bank, which is where it should have been, but he fell flat on his face because the stern of his boat was up in the air. And as he looked round to look at his boat, he said the stern of the boat was between 8 and 10 feet in the air because it was already tipping into that hole, which must have been so frightening.
Yeah. Well, I think it saved the lives of other people as well, because then Bob then went round banging on other people's boats to get them off.
Yeah, to wake them up. So, yeah, and we're moored at the moment with the boat, the Last Dream. They must have been petrified as well, because it's a miracle that their boat didn't get dragged into that hole. So
they were on our side of the breach, but they were still, luckily, on the arm cut and still at the right level, and they once they put the additional dam in and filled the water up, they managed to get them back to safety, and they're actually just in front of us now.
Yeah, so the Canal River Trust, I think we said this before, the engineers, the local council have all been brilliant. They acted really quickly, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they've got to keep the water flowing down to Hurleston for the reservoir that feeds the local communities.
Yeah, for water, for their fresh water supply.
Yeah, it's been an incredible operation, and people have been comparing it to the Bridgewater, but the Bridgewater breach that happened earlier in the year is a private company owns that, and that's the Bridgewater. It's the Peel Group that own the Bridgewater Canal.
Yeah, so that had nothing to do with Canal River Trust at all.
We're just thankful that everybody was safe, nobody was badly injured, and the emergency services reacted as quickly as they did. United Utilities have brought in 5 large pipes to pump extra water into the canal to fill that level up quicker and to get the water flowing down to the reservoir. And I think there are 2 of those pipes that are pumping water at the moment, aren't there? It's the last we heard.
Yeah, there was a bit of a failure on a couple of the pumps, wasn't there? And the water did start to drop again, but it looks like we're back to level.
The 22nd of December was the breach. The 23rd of December, the second cofferdam was installed. And on Christmas Eve at around 6:30, the RCR finally got our boats refloating again. And we moved on to the boats on Christmas Eve, didn't we?
Yeah, so they were actually sort of around the clock looking at the boats. They'd actually put some ratchet straps onto the boat, stop them toppling, and they were kept sort of adjusting the ratchets to make sure that the boat stayed upright. And that evening I got back from work, on Christmas Eve I got back from work, and we actually spent the evening on the boat, didn't we?
Yeah. As you can see from this footage, we had to trek through this muddy field along all the pipes that they'd laid, which was getting muddier and muddier because of the footfall on there. And it was a bit of a trek to get up to the lift bridge at Whitchurch, but, you know, we're not complaining because we were inconvenienced compared to those 3 boats.
Yeah, absolutely.
That suffered the most.
So Christmas Day night we got to spend on the boat as well. Boxing Day, was the day that we moved, wasn't it? So they'd floated the canal up to a level that enabled people to move. We had to reverse 1.5 miles, as you'll see in this footage, back to this area. We went to Grindley Brook, the top of the lock, spun round so we faced in the right direction to go down the locks.
And there are about 13 boats in this section between the breach and Grindley Brook.
This is the site of the breach, and to the bottom of the screen is our friend Phil's boat. We're moored directly behind him. And around lunchtime on the 26th of December, the Canal River Trust are here to help us move our boats back to Grindley Brook.
The water's back. That should go with the flow.
Very exciting. I'm not going enough to get back to Grindley, are we?
No.
And this is the boat that was moored directly behind the breach. This is called the Last Dream, and we're going to reverse it all the way down to Grindley Brook.
I can follow you down to it.
And according to Canal Plan, it's a journey of about 1 mile.
I haven't, no. Grab it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The volunteers this week have been incredible, and we can't thank them enough. Quite a few of us were facing towards Whitchurch, so we are going to have to reverse this mile-long stretch. We're quite lucky because we've got bow and stern thrusters.
The Canal River Trust have come to us this morning. I think they want to put a secondary dam in here, so they want all the boats moving down towards Grindley Brook. The locks aren't actually open at the moment, but they actually just want us off this section and away from the breach. So we're having to reverse about 1.5 miles down the cut. When we're ready to go down the locks, we'll turn round at the bottom there, so we face in the right direction. But just for today, we're just going to reverse down.
There's going to be 13 boats out there moored down there waiting to go down over the next week or so.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be controlled because obviously every time we go down the locks, this section's going to start emptying. If they are carrying on filling, and I think they put some additional pipe work down at the bottom. United Utilities have been down and put some additional pipes down, so to keep that constant flow of water, but it will empty slightly every time somebody goes down.
Yeah, they're the two pins that saved us and kept us tied to the bank, aren't they?
Well, I suspect they probably weren't. I suspect the chain was what saved us, to be honest. But the pins, yeah, they've actually held secure.
This is actually Phil's first winter on the canal, but he's getting help here from Pete. The canals are only 1 to 2 metres deep, but it's taken 2 full days to fill this 1 mile stretch. And these are the pipes being fed into the canal from United Utilities.
We could have told Phil as well.
Enough with your steering.
I know.
I know you don't like being filmed, but you've been the star of this, so thank you very much. I know all of you, like the whole Canal River Trust, RCR, fantastic.
As long as we're all safe, that's all that matters.
Cheers, thank you. Well, it's been a very crazy few days, as you can imagine, but we're floating. We're not complaining at all because it's just been a bit of an inconvenience for us compared to the other boats that were lost in that breach. Again, I just want to thank everybody involved with this whole operation, from emergency services to the Canal River Trust, RCR, the engineers,
Subcontractors.
the council. Everyone's been brilliant, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been a massive turnaround.
Yeah.
We've all been moved down away from the breach. They're going to put a secondary dam in, I believe. So we're just mooring here until the water levels are at a point where we can actually start moving down the locks. I think that's going to be like, done in a controlled fashion, like I said earlier.
Yeah, and we're not going down the locks backwards. There's a point, there's a winding hole where we can turn our boat round just before the locks, and obviously it's so much safer to be going down locks, especially staircase locks, facing forward.
Yeah, so we just reversed about 1.5 miles. I'm just wondering what's going on here. I don't know whether we're mooring here or with this space further down, so just want to be directed by CRT bin.
But again, a massive thank you to everybody that's donated to the GoFundMe. And just to clarify, that fund will be going to the 3 boaters that have been affected the most, which are the 2 boats at the bottom of the breach and the one that was over the edge of that breach, because we don't know at this stage what damage has been done to his boat. So the 3 of them will be in talks. We've met 2 of them today, and yeah, we're going to end the GoFundMe on New Year's Eve, because we don't want people thinking that we're going to be hanging on to that money. It's just much better if we can give that money out as soon as possible, because they need it.
Yeah, and we had discussions with them. They said run it till the end of the year, which obviously will be New Year's Eve, and then they'll be in touch again. So we're going to be instructed by them as to how they want us to proceed with divvying out the money.
Yeah.
But you know, it is after fees from GoFundMe, all of that money will be going to them 3 guys.
Yeah, every penny. And again, thank you so much. So close to Christmas, and during the Christmas holidays, we know it's hard for everybody at the moment, isn't it? It's a very expensive time of year, Christmas, and the cost of living is so much that's what's blown us away with everybody's generosity with the GoFundMe. It's a big thing.
Yeah, we never thought it'd escalate to that amount. We thought a couple of thousand. Yeah. So
2,000 or 3,000.
Absolutely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that money will really be needed by them guys in the next few months.
Yeah, they've really been going through it.
Yeah. Right, yeah, I think if we can, spin round and then tuck in there.
Yeah.
Get a bit of solar.
Everybody's come together to help each other out this past few days, and this is a great bunch of boaters.
Well, we're going to wind here, aren't we? So we're facing the right way to go down the locks when they open, hopefully on Monday.
You can tell how shallow it is because you can see all the mud churning up.
The levels are still quite low, and what would normally be a 5-minute manoeuvre took us about 15 minutes. We finally moored up, and what a massive sense of relief.
And the reason that they've not allowed us to go down the locks is because, like you said, they want to get the levels up, and I think they're going to let us down maybe 2 or 3 boats a day.
Yeah. So I think tomorrow, which is Monday, they're going to let about 3 or 4 boats down, and then the remainder of the boats on Tuesday. I think what was really nice is last night we all went, a big group of us on this section went to the local pub.
The horse and jockey, wasn't it?
Yeah, just to sort of, what was the word?
Just to group together and try and have a bit of normality. It's not felt like Christmas to us at all, has it, with everything that's going on. And yeah, all the boaters that have been affected by this, we went to the pub, most of us, and it was a great night. Quite a few glasses of wine. I think we needed it.
It just felt like a normal evening. I think that's exactly what we needed, to be honest.
It did us good to get off the boats and spend some time together and talk about the events of the past few days. It's definitely what we needed, wasn't
it? Like a debrief.
Yes. Yeah. The amazing thing was, walking out of the pub, we got a round of applause, which was to thank us for the GoFundMe, which is incredible. I didn't think anybody knew that we were there, to be honest. And again, thank you to everybody that's donated to the GoFundMe. It now stands around £72,000, and that would be a massive help for these 3 boaters. And it is just going to go to the 3 boaters. If they want to give it to anybody else that was affected on that evening, then that's their choice. And we know that the boats are probably insured, but it's that immediate help that they need. And to be honest, we didn't expect this GoFundMe to go as big as it did.
No, it's been absolutely incredible. And I know there's been comments about, oh, they're not insured. And yes, they will be insured. They won't be able to have a licence. But like Paul said, it's that immediate need for money to help them in that interim period as well.
We met an engineer today who's working on the HS2 project, which is the high-speed railway,
Adam.
if you're not from the UK. and he was showing us some diagrams, which we'll probably show in a future video, that he's going to propose to the Canal and River Trust, and he's speaking to one of the project managers tomorrow, and he's going to put these drawings forward, and this may be a temporary fix to get the canal open again. And Adam's going to keep in touch with us and let us know how that meeting goes.
Yeah.
And also Paul's boat, which is
Pacemaker.
I was getting mixed up with Rincewind, which is Phil's boat. Paul's boat, Pacemaker, is the one that was left teetering on the edge. We know at about 10 o'clock on the 23rd of December, I think it was. Yeah, they managed to drag his boat back. They didn't want anyone around because it was probably a dangerous operation. There were high tensile cables used and winches. That's all that we know.
Yeah.
And they didn't want anybody filming it, I guess, in case anything went wrong, which it could have done.
Yeah, because anything that uses high tensile cables has a real dangerous potential. So they just wanted to clear everybody away who didn't need to be on site, and that's absolutely the right thing to do. It didn't need to be filmed, but that's what they did.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been an incredible few days, and it's definitely brought out the best in people, and the people that have sent us, they bought us coffees, they've sent money to the GoFundMe page, they've sent us messages, people have offered help, hotels, they've offered
their own accommodation.
For the boaters that are most affected. And yeah, a big thank you to everyone that's been in touch with the well wishes.
Yeah.
Somebody left some treats on the roof of the boat yesterday for Sebastian, for everything that he's been through, and I think it was traumatic for the pets.
Well, it was, because he couldn't actually gain any traction on the floor, because we were at a 45-degree angle and he just couldn't stand up properly, bless him.
Now, regarding the GoFundMe page, we think the 1st of January we may close that GoFundMe. It'll give people enough time to send their donations and for us to close that GoFundMe and pay it out to the 3 boaters most affected.
Yeah, we need to speak to the GoFundMe guys as well to see how we best distribute that. But yeah, there has to be a finite sort of point to that. And actually, it's quite stressful setting up something like that, especially when you didn't expect it to grow as big as it did, and the abuse we've received for the we just want it to finish it at a point and give it to the people that were involved, that it was set up for, to help.
And I think we were just so glad, the two of us, that were travelling with our friend Phil, because I spent the night on his boat on the 23rd of December because we had no heating. We've got a diesel reflex fire, and because of the angle of the boat, the safety cut out the fuel supply.
Yeah. So we couldn't run the Webasto, we couldn't run the diesel reflex because it has a safety cut off when the levels aren't right. So yeah, as Paul said, he spent the night on Phil's boat on the 23rd. I went back to Manchester, I slept in my van that night. Things do feel, for us and for the boaters on this section, feel like things are getting back to normal. Yeah. Clearly things aren't back to normal for the guys in the breach or on the edge of the breach. On the other side of the breach, I know there's been a lot of people saying they're trapped and stuff, but actually they're floating, they've got everything they need. So, it's just an inconvenience. It's not a tragedy for them guys.
Yeah, and I do feel for the people that are trapped up there, because they will have plans. I know Heidi's trapped up there, bless her, and Heidi, a friend of ours on the pirate boat, she was trapped on the River Weaver for months. Now she's trapped on the Llangollen Canal, but it is a beautiful section of canal to be on, and we hope that everyone up there on that section of canal isn't inconvenienced too much and that you're doing okay. So yeah, we want to say hello to you too. But yeah, it's been a Christmas we'll never forget, and we will definitely keep you posted. The ironic thing is, on Monday the 22nd of December, we were going to make a Christmas video on the boat and tell people that we were going to take a break for a few weeks because we've been exhausted this year, and then all this has happened. And we wanted to document it for you. We always vlog every Friday at 5 o'clock. We try and release a video, and to not show this would have been ridiculous.
We've been documenting our lives for 5 years since we've been on the boat. It's not something we've scrambled to do. We've vlogged for years, and we were directly involved. It would have been wrong not to have documented it, and I do feel that the documenting of this event has helped the GoFundMe page achieve the traction it has. So if anything, it's done good in that respect.
I think one thing I'd like to touch on that we think a lot of the media have been very respectful, and it was quite moving actually that the people who interviewed us, they were filling up as well, weren't they? They were getting quite upset talking to us and seeing the site. I think a lot of people, reporters, were quite shocked, and I know one reporter in particular was on the phone to a colleague, and when she walked around the corner from the lift bridge and saw the aftermath of the breach, they just went, "Oh my God, it's just like just such a shocking sight." And we do hope that the boats can be retrieved. We're hoping they're not too damaged inside, and we hope that these people who've been affected can be floating again on the canals.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. We hope you're well and that you had a nice Christmas.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in a day or two when we've got another update.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thanks for watching. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.